Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Built and Field Tested. This is Matt Bartels. I've got
Zan's here. Welcome back.
Zan with me. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. Hopefully, you're getting something out of these, and we want to really, reiterate that we want these to be teaching moments and communication moments where we're able to get a lot of the stuff out of our brains and into your ears and help us all get better as a company with some of this and get more together on things. But today our topic is going to be about technology. And as you all know, we made a big push in the last, couple years?
Is that 3 or 4 years? It's been controversial topic for everybody. Everyone's had some impact with it, though.
I think what drove it, right? What drove the big thing in technology? I mean, the industry is just adopting more and more and more technology, and there's tons of softwares out there that do different things for you. And I think it's not just our industry, it's just a function of development of technology. And the big subject in the last year has been AI, right? AI is going to take over the world. AI is going to take everybody's jobs. That's not true, but it's certainly something that's creating some more powerful software out there. We plan on leveraging it, and we have.
And we're doing it. All of this is in an effort to do a few things, really, to make the company more efficient, to make us more efficient as individuals, and also to stay at the forefront of what's going on. And if we can keep those things in mind as we make technology decisions, I know it's at a certain level, it's tricky because things are thrust upon you, like a field wire change, a timekeeping change, and it all is a different app for this and that. But if we keep kind of those goals of making the technology a force multiplier for all of us, then that puts us in a position to where we're using the technology and not letting it drive us. I guess is important to remember.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you look at the definition of technology, the practical application of scientific knowledge and skills to create tools, systems, and methods that solve problems, make tasks easier, and improve human life. That sounds a little whimsical with the human life part, but think about it. It really does improve our life. It makes what we're doing day to day more efficient. It makes it more accurate. That's one of the big surprises that I've found out with using more and more technology and more integration. We have more accuracy in our content and what we're producing.
Part of it is reducing errors and data entry stuff, and there's always human error with that. There's also the piece of it where when you have something that's being automatically generated, then there's no interpretation.
Right.
Each person can take the facts that exist within whatever platform we're talking about, and they can interpret the facts as they see them, but those facts are real facts that are in there, that are built in the system. If we build everything correctly, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that's a big hurdle to make sure we do this correctly.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like a rundown of the technology we use, right? And this is all, it's in our Tranual online cloud-based employee handbook, which let's go to
Technology.
Tranual. So Tranual, right? That's our online employee handbook. It has all procedures, it has policies, it has training, it has records of training we've done, it has OSHA certifications for all of our people. It's got things like that in it that are basically HR related stuff. It's all within Tranual. It's all accessible. It's all searchable, very easy to find, and it gets updated all the time. And we're updating Tranual now, every 30 days at least, we're doing some kind of push out of new content and revised content. So that's where we're at on that. We've got QuickBooks. That is our accounting software, which we basically use that to pay the bills and do reporting as a whole company, company-wide reporting. And then the FieldWire is our sort of meat and potatoes. It's our project management dashboard, right? And we're trying to integrate as many things with FieldWire. By integration, I mean connection. So like a Power BI integrated connection where information pushes between software to share information and generate information that exists in one place, puts it on another software to make it usable.
With as little touch as possible, right?
Automatic. That integration is automatic. Yeah. So FieldWire is what we're building our dashboard out around. So currently we have FieldWire connected to QuickBooks, and we're using it to push into the budget for the project manager so that they have good specific data on every project where they can see how the job is performing financially, and it can manage the change orders and all that stuff, which is really getting pretty slick. And then we also use Ramp as another piece of that, which we brought that on as our credit card processing stuff and making it easier for the guys to get things loaded in and coded. And then we also are now stepping into using it more for project management related tasks like reviewing invoices, approving invoices, getting documents for vendors loaded in, getting W-9 COIs all up to date, getting new vendors loaded into our system. And then that is connected to QuickBooks at this point. And QuickBooks is now getting live information from Ramp to get everything updated in accounting, so it doesn't have to be any data entry.
The amazing part of that, and this little anecdote, but just from a physical perspective, Cheryl would have a stack of receipts 6 inches high of paper.
I'd have to sift.
And that's data entry on, like job number, job code, like all that has to be put in,
Right.
like in order and by purchaser. So
And now
that's all happening.
when you swipe the card.
It's almost zero touch.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. So that's pretty incredible. And
That's the back end that I think a lot of our folks don't see. They don't see what has been gained.
and good data and good reporting too is what that generates, because you've got it all there and you can pull it up when you're looking for it. And that makes me think about too, like, where was technology 20 years ago? Technology 20 years ago in construction.
I was going to ask you how you was our fit.
I mean, there were fax machines and job trailers, and there were when the Nextel phones came out, I mean, it was a big deal. Like with the bleep bleep Nextel phones, well, that came out, it was just nuts. I mean, that was one of the coolest things that we ever had.
But just project management. So the superintendent reports was in a little pocket notebook.
Yeah.
That
Or a printed out form, and then you fax it in, write it on the form, and then you fax it into the office.
Tim Howard's dad didn't fax anything.
Yeah, no, he would
He did?
Oh, yeah.
I figured it all came in there.
No, job for, I mean, he kept notebooks, but then it would go into a report and get faxed in. And that's how you communicate with vendors too. I mean, from the job site, and they would put a telephone in there most of the time. So there'd be a landline phone, a landline fax machine, and a stack of paper.
Think of the delay compared to now, stack of where you're walking around.
Now, yeah, there's a catch to that too. And it's like certain parts of that forced people in the field, it gave them more permission, I think, to solve problems on their own. And I think it gave them a little more freedom to be creative. And I think we've lost some of that with the communication, because going back to what we talked about in the last podcast, the accountability piece has totally changed in the level of accountability that's expected by each person.
But it all requires a level of discipline to use. Yes, like anything. I think that's like a text message is really easy to send, and it takes a lot of discipline to not just blast something off before you think about it.
Correct. Yeah.
So the more discipline we can have in the way that we use technology, whether it's a text message, an email, or the way we use Ramp, or at a higher level, the way we implement new technology at the company, at Bartels Construction, we have to have discipline to not just get the next new shiny thing. We have to make sure that it's solving a specific problem that we have.
Well, that's why it takes all this time we're going through in the office and in the field, and we're testing all this stuff, and you guys are hearing about it. And we're doing a lot of work before we implement these things to make sure we're not just putting something out there that isn't going to work. We want to know it's working. We found
we found
a couple times, and then we've gone back and had to fix it. But we're getting better at that the more we do this, and continue to. This is not ever going to stop. I mean, like I said, what was it like 20 years ago? I mean, what do you think it's going to be like 20 years from now? What's the direction we're headed with AI, with the way that AI can organize things for you, and the way AI can produce reporting, and the way AI can even make decisions when you ask it to help you make a decision?
Well, it's going to get predictive, which is cool.
It's going to change what we're doing. And then I'll be interested to see what the hardware changes are, right? Because we've had these cell phones for a good bit, and they're getting more and more sophisticated. What's going to be the next thing? You think about all the robot stuff, and you think about the eyeglasses that they say are going to be computer screens.
I mean, I would be pretty shocked if at some point you can't put on a pair of glasses and see the job. I know you can do that in some BIM situations now, but
yeah,
it's things like that that'll be on the leading edge of the construction edge of this.
Right.
But that's that's the Bartels construction approach. Is we try to be as on the leading edge of this as we can be within budgetary constraints. and the size company that we are, but we make sure the technology we implement is solving a problem or creating an efficiency that we need as a company.
I think something to drive home too as we're moving toward wrapping this thing up is I have no doubt about technology will not ever replace people. The technology is allowing people to leverage it and make them more efficient and make them better at what they do. But
Or create better products.
they're not going to replace people. Yeah, in researching this topic, I found a quote out there that said, "One machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men. No machine can do the work of one extraordinary man." So
That's the John Henry story.
yeah,
Is that what that is?
kind of just keep that in mind. It's like all this technology is only as good as we use it, and it's only as good as how we implement it and how we decide to tell this technology to help us solve problems. That's the big takeaway that I want you all to have here, is that we're going to keep making it better and better to make our lives easier, to make our job better, to perform better for our customers, to perform better for all of our stakeholders. That's what this is about. It ties back to our core business values of integration and quality and elevating the industry. That's where we live, and that's what we're going to continue doing here.
All of you can expect to see us continue to build this ecosystem of technology that's going to make us a better team. The idea is to integrate all of us together and streamline the communication as best we can. And with that, all the technology is going to lead to some additional conformity. Just there's constraints inherently within every platform. And if we can all be speaking the same language and doing the same tasks the same way, then it makes us a much more scalable company also.
Yeah.
Which looking towards the future is important. So that technology can take our core group and make us really scalable, and then all of a sudden we can achieve greater things than we can today.
Yeah. Thank you guys for spending the time listening to these and learning about what we're really thinking about here in the office. We can't thank everybody enough for all the hard work that they do out there every day, and we're here trying to use this technology in this instance to make us do better, be better, feel better, have more fun. And all that stuff ties into this. So can't thank you guys enough for all that you do, and looking forward to the next one. Wrapping this one up, yeah, we're doing project management next. So that'll be able to tie in a lot of the things we've already talked about, like company culture affects project management, accountability affects project management, so does technology. So I'm kind of excited about it. Excited about tying all that together and talking about project management.
Yeah, it's basically, project management's our product in a lot of cases. So it is what we do. So
thanks, guys.
I'll be coming.
Appreciate it.
And next time.